So we're going to solve this proportion. We have a fraction equal to a fraction. A proportion means you've got a fraction equal to a fraction. And the way to solve one way to solve a proportion is to cross multiply. So you multiply this number times this number, and that should be equal to this number times this number. So this times this, 0.4 times x equals this times this, 1.2 times 1, right? And that can also be written just 0.4x equals 1.2, right? So we've got to solve for x, and so x is being multiplied by 0.4. So to get x on its own, we need to divide by 0.4, right? And so now on the left, the 0.4's cross cancel, and you're left with x equals, and you have 1.2 over 0.4. Now this is dividing by decimals. So we'll just go through this slowly. There's a couple of ways of doing it. One way that we've gone over before is you go 0.4 into 1.2. But you can't divide by a decimal. You have to turn the divisor into a whole number. So you got to move this decimal point one spot to the right. If you do that, you must move this one spot to the right. So it becomes 4 into what? 12. Good. Which is? Good. So the answer is 3. X equals 3. Now, the other way of doing it, and it's the same way, but it'll look different, is you say, okay, I want to multiply this so that I get a whole number on the bottom. What 0.4 times what would give a whole number on the bottom? Times 10. If I multiply that by 10, the decimal point is going to move over to one spot. So 0.4 times 10 gives 4. Now, I can't just multiply the bottom by 10. I must also do what? Multiply the top by 10. Right. But otherwise, it'll, because you don't want to change the value of the fraction. Right? See, if you multiply by 10 over 10, that's just like multiplying by 1. Because look, 10 over 10 is 1. Right, so the fraction is going to look different. So 1.2 times 10 is 12. So you get 12 over 4, which is 3. And that's the exact same thing we did here. Just a different way of doing it. But it's literally the same thing, right? Yeah, and so that's it. Dividing by decimals is the trick there.